All right now. This one right here goes out to the 210. This is for all the real hustlers and the people that's been wondering where we been. Well, we back, baby. We didn't really go nowhere, but we back, baby. And we back with DJ Baby Blue Diamond, BBD, T1, and D live at 5. Yeah, I know you feel it. For all the parents and the children, grinding for better, sending praises to the ceiling. Well, you asked, I guess it's time that we spill it. See, there's a difference between copy and really being authentic. Most can play the game well, but they not really in it. See, that's the story of my life. I was the underdog. Then I found myself and found my voice. Now I'm in front of y'all, doing it big for the tone, for the bros, for the hustlers and the Joes and everybody in between. I can't explain how I be feeling till I feel it, but the way that I've been lately, don't think I can be defeated. Forget the season, all summer, winter, spring, and fall I'm eating. Forget the reason, just believe me when I tell you that I'm ready. And if I call you on the celly and you really my friend, better receive me.
This her show. Why my songs were playing when doing that?
What's up, man? It's your boy D, aka Mr. Live at 5.
It's your boy T1.
And
Where You Ask Podcast.
with some drink in our cup.
It's just you.
It's just you.
It's just you.
What's up, man? This is another. What episode is this?
Episode 3.
I know, but like total.
So, I don't even give you a line.
This is episode 3, season 3. You know what I'm saying? We changed it up a little bit, changed up the scenery. We got the studio, we outside. We got some popular gentlemen in the room today. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves because I don't want to mess up nobody's name or nothing. So we're gonna start on this end and work our way to the other end. So you go ahead, Deshaun.
My name is Deshaun Orr.
Deshaun? That's my son.
Dawson.
Y'all want me to go now?
Yeah.
I got a whole bunch of names.
All right, you go last then. All right. Go ahead, man.
Hey, Harry. Mike.
I go by A&B Easy. You call me Chris Cuddy when I'm cutting your hair. You call me Chris, because some people like to say my name. My government name.
I do. You said who?
Michael. Yeah.
Michael. I didn't hear you. She was distracted. So, we got some good topics. We're about to have some very interesting conversation. It already started early.
Y'all missed a lot.
Yeah, we was gonna start it earlier, but that's behind the scenes stuff. Y'all will catch it later on. But anyway, so we're gonna go with the first topic. This is something that I do every time we do the podcast on live podcast, and we got BBD behind the scenes right here. She's in charge of whatever she's in charge of.
Baby Blue Diamond is also in the building.
Thank you. Say my name correctly.
BBD.
Wait, you want to say
Not
BBD?
me.
Can I say something? BBD used to be draws, didn't it?
BBD?
Yeah. It used to be draws and shit.
I don't know.
BBS was ready. BBD used to be draws, right?
I don't know. I didn't know what else.
I ain't remember, but I thought it was. Because we used to talk about people wearing BBDs.
Big people?
Yeah.
We talk big white girls.
DVDs and BAD.
You're not from the South, so I'm saying. DVDs, right? DVDs, that is DVDs, yeah. And then we used to talk about XJ900s. Don't let me keep it because we don't.
I don't know. I just go Fruit of the Loom.
Don't say that out loud.
And Haynes gonna be here.
Yeah. Fruit of the Loom was with Exalted Cuts.
Was it what? That was what it is?
Yes.
Because remember, Champion used to be in Walmart.
Yeah.
That means you was broke. If you didn't have started, if you didn't have started, you had Champion. You was broke.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't see me
I
wearing
think
shit.
that's part of that.
Nah, that's what you'll see me wearing shit. I'm not wearing Champion because now I feel broke again. I got a little money, but I ain't completely broke like I was since old when I was wearing Champion.
What's the difference between champion and champ?
Chaps is under the Ralph Lauren umbrella.
Like, hold on.
I ain't saying they generic. They not generic.
Yes,
They
they
just
are.
under the.
That's like,
No,
They have a generic look.
DC don't pass, so it stands for
Chaps, Hey man, USPA is not generic. Okay.
Look, I'm not too crazy. I would hate. That's it.
White t-shirts, ain't nothing wrong with it.
No, Haynes boxing briefs too.
Oh well, shit, ain't nothing wrong with that either. As long as you got some drawers
I
on,
would
right?
hate like. No, when I was in Cancun, it was
Don't nobody mention what kind of drawers they got on. So they can't do that. Nobody don't worry about your drawers.
He was a beach.
Because niggas that wear Versace be having on Hanes drawers, it's cool.
That's true.
No, they got always.
They do. But okay, so one of the things that I always do is a mental health check. So I'm gonna ask y'all on a scale of 1 to 10, as a black man, mentally, how you on a scale of 1 to 10? 1.
Good is 10, apparently. Terrible is 1. Or 0.
0. You gonna call somebody for
Oh Lord, Lord.
I'm glad y'all asked. Fuck everything. Huh? Don't say that on camera. The camera on. Oh, well, he unstable. What's
So you don't know it?
1 to 10.
A 3?
We gotta get this thing out of here.
Yeah, like 4.
4? What's wrong with y'all?
Yeah.
Like
Mental.
mental.
1, you doing bad and you ready to shoot up the post office. 10, I'm amazing. I'm feeling great right
I don't think nobody in here at 10 right now.
I think I'm 10 right now, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's hard.
After the birthday, everything is 10 now.
Hey, we're not gonna go off into that shit. Look, I'm an 8.5.
I was gonna say, me personally, I'm an 8.
Because this still shit that get on my
Yeah.
nerves.
Yeah.
So I'm an 8.5.
I'm a 6 when you're gone.
A 6? All right, cool.
It was 3.
Mike, what you don't want to say?
No, I think I'm about an 8.
Oh, well, see, shit. What is wrong with you two niggas? You had a 3 and a 4?
Let's talk about it. Why you 3 or 4?
No, see, you trying to, no, what's the question? Let's go to
So that was the first thing. I just wanted to do a mental health check.
Did your women be you that way? Let's talk about it.
I had one.
See, she's trying to say some shit. All women bring us that way. Okay?
Yeah.
Because we can't comb y'all hair like we want Now, hold on. Now, he didn't like y'all in this shop. Comb your hair mean knock this bitch out for doing too much.
Yeah.
Alright? Okay. We can't comb y'all hair like we want to.
Yeah.
So when y'all come tripping, like I said, I want tacos and I come home and it's meatball subs made, now I got a problem. Because I ain't asked for meatball subs, I appreciate you, but I asked for tacos. So now I feel like I want to comb your hair.
That's no study.
There's some
You're right, but I said,
Coma that.
say,
No.
some people think that.
No,
No, girl? No, some people think that.
I'm talking about men.
This is different.
There's some men who believe you should know.
So even if a woman like breaks up to you,
If she swings on you, you just gotta restrain her.
Hey, this is what my mama said.
Or if she say something out of line to you,
It's
you can't.
okay. So easy gonna know what I'm saying. It's a girl that we know named Rashawn.
Hey, you saw it.
They're not gonna restrain her.
She gonna
She
go
got
with you.
hands.
Right.
So she gonna knuckle up, but you might lose.
Yeah.
That's when you gotta resort to your T1 tactics.
I-
MMA shit.
I
And submission.
y'all talking about it. I'm not squaring up.
Submission.
That's what I'm saying.
Submission. up, she gonna want to.
No, but a woman that's a lesser, you know, who's not that, you know, for disrespect or whatever, do you feel like it's a time to comb her hair?
So me personally, when I was in middle school, I combed 2 bitches' hair. When I was in middle school. But my thing was, when I was growing up, my thing was, you can say anything about anybody. If you say something about my mama, it's.
But I'm talking about right now, as a grown
Right
person.
now, grown men, I think.
You married right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't call my wife hair.
For sure.
Anybody outside of that, I'm not.
I'm talking about if she say something out of line to you.
No, talking don't bother me. But when you assault or try to assault me,
This where
I'm gonna defend myself.
This where motherfuckers say that.
Yeah.
So you do something. You come home and your wife is like, you bitch ass nigga. I told you, woo.
See,
These combs are.
look.
You gotta use the thing too
Like we was talking about earlier, marriage is a business decision. My wife, I got a wife that won't do that.
Right.
So I don't have to worry about that.
That's
So I can't speak on how I would react.
So, what's your question? So, when is it okay to go ahead and comb?
I think in the club setting.
And the club setting,
In the club setting.
without her putting her hands on you. When
No,
is it okay?
it's gotta be a physical.
So anything that's not visible, you can't comb her hair.
Nah, cause now you just beat her up.
You don't have to beat her up.
You said in the club, like
No.
I said a woman or anyone.
I'm talking about anytime, anywhere, no matter what, you feel disrespected by her. I mean, she got a fine out of line.
For Kevin Gates type shit?
If
I mean, you don't beat it down. I ain't saying you beat it down to the ground.
I mean, just wow, just a gesture a little bit.
Dictation.
So, if your wife
Say,
slap,
no.
your wife slap shit at you. On some random shit, she slap shit at you. On some random shit, your wife just slap the shit at you. Wow, I don't like that shit, and I told you that.
Uh-huh.
Not because I know what Kevin will.
See, that's different.
Okay, let me ask
He
you.
likes it.
You known for beating people the fuck
I
up.
can't do that.
Mm.
You can't, but we can.
I'm not like it.
I can slide mine down the street if I
Hey,
choose.
man, I've been there before. I've done that in 20 days in Canada.
Now, I don't know if y'all know it. I'm gonna fill y'all in. In this shop, we are advisors. We try to guide our teenagers in the right direction, and we also counselors for all our married clients. They come in. This is a place where you come, you get away from the wife, you get to vent, say what you want to say, and we don't disclose information to everybody else. So these are questions that we ask. These are questions that we ask to our clients.
Right.
Like if you come home, y'all were married. You come home and find a size 13 slide under your bed.
That's different.
What you gonna
It's
do?
not gonna be no hair.
What you say?
It's
Nah,
not.
hold on. You can't get around the question.
It's not.
If you come home, you find a size 13 Jordan slide. That's
Just one.
beat
It's a
up
Jordan.
13 Jordan slide.
It's a Jordan, definitely.
I mean, okay. What do you say to that? Exactly my point.
I'm not.
What
Look, I'm not doing what I'm saying. I'm not saying shit.
What do you ask?
I'm not asking nothing.
There's nothing to ask.
My wife don't have no brothers. She don't have no uncles.
Exactly. So you come home and
I
find
come home and
What do you do?
I'm
You're
not-
not gonna ask them what you
I
gonna do.
reserve the
I'm
right
gonna tell you
not.
I'm not gonna comb my hair.
I reserve the right not to incriminate myself.
you got that right.
No, I'm here. Okay.
That's a perfect answer. That's a perfect answer.
You say you're a pastor, right?
Yeah.
So, in scripture, what does it tell you if you catch your wife in a it's not adultery, but as far as your mind goes. So if
If she doing something
come
she
in,
ain't supposed to be doing.
if I come in and I see my wife in that situation, if I was to do something extreme, I can actually say I wasn't in my right state of mind.
Facts.
Right?
You get away with it.
So that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't comb my hair.
So are we in a position where we're going to act as if we're not able to have an intelligent conversation with our lady?
No.
Are we just going to skip over the fact?
No,
You
I'm
gotta
I'm
ask.
asking,
We gotta see her here.
are we in a position where we just gonna jump right to 1,000 and start combing hair?
If you been with your chick for a few years, the conversation's gonna be had. I've been with my wife for 18 years. We not talking. She knows already.
But what?
Don't have sex in the champagne room. If you gonna do it?
I'm
Figure it out.
finna leave her with a swoop. I'm finna do her motherfucking edges.
Hey,
I'm finna do all that.
Can I say
she
something?
getting the ball. She gonna look like me.
But I mean, maybe she has a legitimate explanation on.
That's what
why that's there.
But that's what I'm saying. There is no good explanation.
No, let's find out.
Let's find out.
So what is the legitimate excuse? What the hell is a legitimate excuse?
That's
Size 13, okay. I wear a size 11.
You brought the legitimate excuse. You brought that cat.
I wear a size 11.
You have to
See,
explain.
I was outside and there was some stuff around and I was hitting some roaches outside.
They did not hell
So
no.
when I came in the house, I was, so
Where
I
the
just
fuck you get the shoe from?
outside. I got to go
Why you
outside
bring it inside?
because I was swatting. I was killing stuff in the house, killing bugs in the house.
Now I feel like you lying.
So we're in a position where we don't trust our significant other.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm just saying that that's the.
Yeah, I was killing bugs. I was outside. There was bees around. I seen them. No, I was just giving a.
Yeah, you have to be seen.
So, me and my man, when we both married.
He married.
Okay, well, here too. This is what I would do.
He's married to the pastor too.
So this is what I would do. I see a size 13 shoe. I'm gonna pick up the shoe. I'm just gonna look at it. See what I'm saying?
Y'all small. 13 is.
There is no conversation after that. Because if I came in with panties in my pocket, what I'm gonna say, oh, these
She gonna kill you.
Panties is different than the shoe.
But that's a slide.
If you got some panties in your pocket, you finna get stabbed at least 26 times.
26 slides
That's
minimum.
part of the middle hole.
But we the only
That's
males in
the
the house.
starter pack.
I know.
But we the only males in the house.
See, that's why when my wife is different, because my wife has no brother.
Hey, we gotta show you something that T1 thinking too hard on this. Listen, you're not gonna incriminate yourself.
Brittany, why you not doing that? Brittany, where you at, Brittany?
We gonna have to go to the next question, which is
Oh, so we're gonna talk about that on another.
I'm gonna shoot a pinky so long, like a hard line. Yeah.
So let me see which one we can jump to. Okay, we can jump to this one. I think Easy talked about this at the podcast time. Why do women in relationships or married request other men that they don't know on social media?
They wanna get that booty rub.
Let me answer that question.
Not somebody else.
The reason why I answer that question is because I asked my wife that question. So, I asked my wife, I said, she asked me, she said, females request you. She said, so why do you accept the request? My answer was, it's just Facebook. I just accept it because this is what they talk about. Let me finish. So I asked her, what's your reason for accepting? New friends, new people. I said, okay. I accept that because that's what she tells me. Until I see different, I don't question. Those are my factual answers, those are her factual answers. That being said, is it good for me to accept a woman? No. Is it good for her to accept a man? I say no. Because she didn't want me to do it outside in public.
Getting the number.
And that's getting accepting anything from any female, right? Unless it's her.
Now,
Or a family member. Now, that being said, those are answers that I would give.
now here's the thing. You said you're adding them. No, you said they're adding you. You're accepting what they added you.
Right.
Nah,
that
we
ain't
talking
question.
about when she go add them.
When she go add a single man,
Oh.
she requests to be a single man's
Friend on
Friend.
social media. Why?
Oh, and I would ask her that. I would be like, well, why?
No, we want to.
Because she wants you to hit it back in the tweet.
You asked me
You got a female answer?
Pretty much.
You wanna
Nah,
ask
we
that?
don't need no female for
Yeah,
that.
we do. Yeah, we do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we do.
Chime in right quick because that nigga was fine. 'Cause that nigga was fine.
But look, Pete, that you said that. What if she say that?
What if she say what?
He was handsome.
No, but that's cool. But I want to know the
Because in reality, we add women because of
they look good.
because they look
Because
good.
that ain't
But when your wife or your girlfriend come and question you and say, why did you request to be her friend for? What is your answer?
Man.
If you want to be real, like how she wants you to be, you're gonna say that.
Yeah.
But if you're smart, you're not gonna say
Just because I watch them make twerk videos,
Being real
I
is
gotta
smart.
run.
It's like a thin line.
Hey, what?
One can get you hurt, one can get
It
you
just
hurt.
depends on the relationship with you and your wife.
Exactly.
So
But now you're a female. I want you to answer this. I mean, just hypothetically. If you were in a relationship
and
with
your husband,
what would be the reason you request to be another man's friend on Facebook?
Well, see, my line of work is different because I do so many stuff.
Oh no, you were just regular woman. No, you're a regular woman. You're a regular woman. You're a regular woman.
I mean, that's a generic answer right there. Like everybody gonna put they work.
Nah, I want to hear
I
this.
have females because they got kids.
No, we're not talking about females. Hey,
Trying to get paid.
no, listen. You are in a, but you ain't in a, you in a relationship. I'm talking about you are in a relationship or you married.
hold on.
What would be the reason you request
You
to be
can
a
chime in
man's
too.
friend on Facebook? And you don't even know him. You don't even know him at all. Nah, you don't know him.
What made you say I gotta have this nigga?
I wanna send his friend request.
Because he's fine. That mean you gonna chase him. Look for those times.
Yeah, but you just
Nah,
said
but you don't have to request to be his friend because you can see everything he's doing. You don't have to be his friend, but you push that request button.
See, I don't know because I ain't never done that.
First off, social media is a problem.
It is. But I
Flat
never
out,
done that.
social media is a problem.
No,
It could be.
So,
The person using
social media is not a problem. It's the user.
It's the
that's
user.
Okay, so this is just me. Those questions that you pose, I don't really see people doing that.
What?
Hear me out.
Hey, man, I'm on.
Okay, I'm saying in the reference, I'm just gonna say
Yes,
yes, I'm gonna say a single man.
for sure.
Yeah, we'll do it. Married person, listen, hear me out. I've never, now I'm married.
Put his girl
I've never, listen, I've never requested a woman to be my friend.
Now listen,
No, hear me out.
That's real. Because
because that should never happen.
Listen to what I'm saying. I've never requested a woman to be my friend. Now, that being said, you know how you have some women that want you to be their friend? I always read through that little segments and see what they're about. Some of them was like Bitcoin or cash apps, you know, and keeping it real. Oh, she look good. Let me go ahead and accept and see what she's about. That's what I've done. That's what I've done. Now that being said, would I want my wife to request anything? No. There's no reason to. Well, there's nothing she can tell me why she requested.
That's all I want to know. Is why is there females
I know the answer to the
single,
question.
I mean, that's in relationships or married, requesting to be men's friends. That's all I want to know.
thirsty.
I know the answer.
I wouldn't say that. I think sometimes we look too deep into social media. Sometimes
Entirely too deep in the social media.
it's social media.
But
So it's made for people to be social.
But you ain't being social.
Just because he said it. Me personally, I would be more concerned if my wife go out and come back with somebody's number.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who the fucking number is
Nah,
this?
the Facebook is a new number. What are you talking about?
Nah, not really. Look, me personally, I was asking you said, I can get into Facebook. It's no problem.
Facebook is the new asking for your number.
let me get y'all.
Because I done been places where females are like, nah, give me your Facebook.
It's
Or Snapchat.
Yeah,
They handing out numbers. They handing out
I get that, but
Snapchat.
like I said, it's social media. It's
I know the answer to this question.
Let me just say this one thing I'm doing. When a woman or a man gives you their social media, it's easier to justify. Okay, I can give you my Facebook, man, because I'm a barber, this and that. Or if I give you my number, that's different because there's
I can't cut you off with the number. It's I think it's more personal.
yeah, you got to do too much thinking with that. You can't figure out.
Technically, your phone number is connected to Facebook.
Exactly.
Hold on. Your phone number is connected to Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. All of it. No, ain't no connect. Because hold on. When you go on social media, you go on there from your phone for the most part. Not a laptop. So if they pick the phone, but they can call you.
Yeah.
It's the same.
That's
Hold on.
like that.
Hold on. I know the answer to the question.
But you can cut that
I
out.
know the answer to the question. There is not one male or female that's attractive to one person.
Definitely.
You understand what I'm saying?
That would be ignorant to think that.
Right. So that person's attractive. Not saying that I want to bang him or bang her or none of that. But this person is attractive. So I want to see what they got going on in their life. I want to watch and see what they got going. This is why people do that.
Yeah. No.
It ain't necessarily, oh, she bad, I want to knock her down. Or he bad, I want to fuck him. No, it ain't none of that. I agree. I want to see what this person got going in their life.
Here's the thing, you try to explain that to a woman that's gonna go over there.
But that's the difference between men and women. We're not gonna get on that because that can go all night if we go on that.
Right.
But at the same time, on the flip, if you felt a certain way about it, there's nothing that your woman can say to you that would justify her doing that either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you already feel a way about
Right.
it. So it all, like you said, it really all depends
On the relationship with
I
the
think the biggest thing that I think we're missing is the part of boundaries.
Yeah.
In any relationship, you're going to make sure that the boundaries are set and understood. So for me and my wife, there's boundaries that most people might not even think about, but because of the depth of our relationship, that should already be understood. I'm not going to go on any woman's Facebook that I don't know or that I don't have any type of connection to and just say, oh, she look good, let me have her.
Right.
Because that's going to bring a type of air into my relationship that I don't want.
Right.
And if I don't want to have my wife go beside my head because of how I'm moving on Facebook or Instagram, why on earth am I going to put myself in that position to even have to have anybody question what I'm doing?
Exactly.
I think
other words,
women only question the request or the friend. They question it only by the woman's looks. If she don't feel threatened by that woman, she's not gonna question it.
let me tell you something.
If
Every
she feels
woman
threatened, I think she
to
feels
a woman,
threatened.
every woman is a threat.
No, I don't think so.
Most women are territorial. Period.
I don't think so. Do you as a man, like you, do you feel the same way?
What's up?
Do you feel every man is a threat to your woman?
No, I don't feel every man is a threat, but it depends on what she do. If she showed me interest in another man, I can't.
That's a threat.
But I think that's
To me, that's interest.
Yes, but that's
You
conditional.
don't even know him.
Yeah, that's conditional.
What you mean?
Like this, the whole thing is conditional. It's like we were saying. If she feels great, it's all about how that woman looks. If some busted up broad come requesting you accept it, not gonna say a thing about it.
So you said
But-
they just want to look at the page, they just want to watch them?
No, but what
I got people on my Facebook.
But that's why I think it's
I don't even know.
more than one condition.
You know what I'm saying? I just
Right,
you know,
that has
But at the same time,
okay, who you
That-
in your relationship.
there you go.
I know
At the
for
same
that
time.
there's just some stuff.
or if it just happens to be somebody that maybe your
There's-
wife would feel like that's your taste.
there's a few
Your type, yeah.
there's a few exceptions to this shit. You have a podcast. Y'all have podcasts. Y'all need those people to watch you.
But
So if you're adding people or
we
people
got
are adding
a
you,
specific page for that though.
exactly.
Even number-wise,
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Everybody's a blue.
But these people will see you. These people will see you on your ads page,
Right.
and they'll go add your personal page.
But they got
It's not necessarily saying.
They got a request for that.
It's not necessarily saying.
I'm talking about a regular dude who ain't even he don't have anything really going. He just a regular dude.
Yeah.
But one thing,
He ain't that interesting.
I don't feel, me personally, I don't feel great.
but one thing,
That's me too. Like I don't
But if she don't, one thing I learned, if somebody gonna cheat, they gonna cheat.
They don't do that shit.
They
always.
I'm
Yeah.
doing Snapchat, and that's Walmart.
But I'm
and
saying,
Target.
what is the reason that she would do that?
see, that's so
That's
serious.
something that she gotta figure out.
But that's what I'm saying. It's conditions to this stuff.
Yeah.
There is no one
Right.
straight up
There's no
answer
one.
to, you know.
So yeah,
And nobody answers wrong.
right. So
Right.
that's
And depending upon your
It's because
relationship.
that nigga a drug dealer with 9 chains. He got a Cadillac and 28s.
But
That's
that's
what
what
I'm
I'm saying.
saying. This nigga.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on your relationship.
He said this girl.
I think it thoroughly depends on your relationship and where you are with them.
Right.
And at the end of the day, if you've been a dirty, nasty, filthy dog,
Right.
you expect your woman to be all up in your social media.
But what if it's just a Chihuahua and not a Rottweiler?
Man, you know,
What if you used to be a dog and you like?
Look, I ain't gonna lie to you. We keep going on this all night, so you might want to go.
Yeah, I'm looking already. Okay. So, being that we was talking about that, this question is maybe ties into that one, and it's why. Okay, it says why do men and women decide they want to cheat? So it's a decision as far as like a decision goes. Like,
You know what?
I want to hear Pastor Mike on this. Why do men or women decide they want to cheat?
There's lots of factors.
Well, yeah, it's definitely
There's no wrong answer to
it's
that.
an open question.
Yeah.
I think really honestly, we have to speak about the deficiency that the person has in their relationship.
What's lacking?
There's something that's lacking that's causing them to go on to look elsewhere to find that validation that they're not getting in their own relationship.
do y'all agree that women do it because most women do it because of the lack of emotional support?
That don't mean you got to toot that ass up.
Right.
I mean, but that if you emotionally
Hey,
support,
I've been waiting on this. That don't mean you got to toot that ass up.
it don't mean that. But after a while, that guard is going to come down.
Right.
So if you know that guard gonna come down, you know it's gonna come down.
You know,
Females know
Eventually.
because females got an attachment to niggas. It ain't just no, I'm gonna fuck with a random nigga. No,
some of them.
you've been talking to this nigga for at least 3-4 months.
Oh.
You've been talking to this nigga for 3. I ain't talking about the one $40 females. I ain't talking about them. The $40 females. You know, you put $40 on a nice thing. Listen, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the ones females know. Most females, I'm gonna say 95% of females, they gotta have some kind of attachment to this dude in order to have sex.
Right.
They not finna just have sex with no random dude. It ain't work like that with females. Now niggas on the other hand, we can run through 12, 13 matches in a week and don't give no fucks about it.
So
The women, they don't do that. So, with that being said, why do you decide to do this type of shit? If you know it's gonna cause an emotional attachment, now you finna open up some other shit that you probably don't wanna see. Because the nigga that you with probably ain't gonna go for that shit too well.
okay.
That's why I said I'm gonna comb her hair if I find that size.
I have a question from the listeners.
Oh, so, go ahead.
Oh,
It says, Amaru Scriven says, what boundaries should be set if you marry a woman with a child or children?
So
If you marry a woman with a child or children, what boundaries should be set?
So when
The same boundaries if she didn't have no kids at all. It don't change because of the kids.
Because when you marry a woman, you marry them kids.
Exactly.
Just like me. I have one child. My wife has 2. Those are my kids. I
Absolutely.
treat them like they're my kids. So
Absolutely.
why would I set a boundary for them? Now, that being said, when they get grown,
You on your fucking own.
I'm not gonna say kids are on their own, but what I'm saying, like my son, he wants to move out. Well, he's my son. It's her son, but he's my son. He wants to move out. I'm like, let him move out. But mom was like, well, no, I need to make sure that no.
Nah, it depends how involved
Let him
is
go out
his
there
dad.
and see if
Nah,
that's between.
I'm 50-50 on, well, not even on that, just on us putting my kids out early. I think no. Like if you wanna go and experience that, yeah. But I think as in our community, I think we push our kids too fast out there. I moved out a year after I graduated. I think we don't set our kids up.
Nah, I'm that.
For that
Go ahead, spit it
I
out.
think we set our kids up for that world. On the flip side of that, I think when the other races let their kids stay home until they're 21, 22, until they're financially literate on things, then they go out into the world. That's why we have problems with moving out, coming back. Moving out.
In our community, in the black community,
community.
our kids will turn 40 and we won't put them out because they still ain't ready. But that's different. Hold on.
Is it a single
Hold on.
parent or father and son?
Regardless.
Hold on. Mom and
Hold
father.
on.
Not gonna let their kids
My mama
go.
was a single mom.
Mine too.
I don't live with my mama.
Me neither.
I haven't for a long time. So that's irrelevant if it's a single mom or not. The thing is, we gotta teach them how to do this before they go.
I agree.
A lot of parents in our community, not the LGBT or none of that, but the BLK community, they don't teach their kids shit. You gotta learn on your own like I did.
That's because they don't know. They can't teach you nothing.
No, they do know because they took care of us.
No, but like
Me,
when
You never
I
this
swear,
how
it's
I know
like
it's
going
bullshit.
to the wolves and be like, I need you to survive.
This
This
how-
time I took you out of you got going out.
This how I know it's bullshit. Me and you was on Dory Block together, nigga. We don't live with our moms, but we know some of the niggas over there that still.
We know a lot of niggas.
So that's a bunch of bullshit. No,
I'm not saying all. I'm not speaking for all. As a community, I just speaking for as a community. I see it though. I see it. I see
Because the
I
parents,
see.
the
I
parents
see
are just
moms,
not-
single moms staying with their mom raising a kid.
Right.
Like you see it.
Can I say something?
It's one thing that my wife kind of said, and I kind of, not even check on it, but I have before. I hate when a woman says stuff like, well, I was mom and dad too. No, you was mom all day.
Mom.
That being said, no, it's a podcast, but I'm saying it.
No, say that.
I'm keeping it real.
Say it.
My son wanted to go somewhere with his dad. She didn't want him to go. And I was like, why? Well, he hadn't been here, and this and I said, why? She didn't give me the answer of why. I said, but why? Because I said, but why? I said, that's still his son, right? She said, yes. I don't care what y'all issues were. He wants to go with his dad. Let him go. That being said, I don't like to hear a parent say, well, I was mom and dad. You wasn't bad for one because you didn't take him to the football game. You didn't show him how to lift weights. You didn't do none of that. You just nurtured him. So my son now, who
Daddy is ready now.
right,
Let him go
the
now.
son that wants to move out, does he know that?
No.
No. But I'm like, go ahead. I'm not gonna let you fall on your feet.
Right.
I'm not gonna let you fall on your face, but I'm gonna let you go out there and see what it's about. Like I tell her now, this is why I'm saying mothers are mothers, they're not fathers. I'm not gonna nurture my son about, well, I don't think he's ready because he doesn't know how to set these bills out. Well, that's why we teach him to do this. Like I said, you're gonna pay your cell phone bill, but why you charge him so much? Because his damn phone is high. That's why I charge him this bill. So exactly. So if I let my wife nurture him like he is, he's gonna be living with us until he's 80. So
I think that could be that like you were saying that could be a hindrance.
right.
I just see a lot of single parents that's back and forth from their parents' house because they can't get it right. And technically, it's after generation, we wasn't taught certain things. So at a certain point, some of the education that our grandparents was taught, like the work ethic and stuff, it stopped. I don't know when. It could be the feminist movement. I don't know. It could be. Like the work ethic, like there's a lot of people that feel like they're entitled to something versus actually going and grinding and going to get it. I don't work at all. Right. Me growing up with a single mom, I don't want to hear a woman say, well, that's a man's job. I can't. No. I see my mama do every damn thing. Ain't no such thing as I can't. It ain't.
I know the answer to this question.
That goes with the gender role.
I got a
to
raise
take
my
out
hand.
the trash.
Hey,
You put your ass in there.
look, I know the answer to these questions because I've been through a whole lot of shit in my life.
Can I say
So when
something?
I say the answer to this question, you gotta want to get the fuck out of there in order to get there. If you don't want to, it ain't gonna never happen. If you content to give your mama $150 for the lights and the water, you gonna stay there.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to, if you want to get out, you want to do better, you want to show better, you want to.
Regardless if you don't know, you just want to.
You want to.
I didn't know. I definitely didn't know. And I moved out.
But you
I
want.
graduated. I graduated from high school. I was gone for about a week and a half partying. I came home. There was a Blockbuster application on my bed.
Oh, that did it.
I got a job. A year after that, me and my cousin. A year and a half after that, me and my cousins got an apartment right here. These apartment Everton,
And that did it.
and I ain't been home.
You
When I moved from there, I didn't have nowhere to go. I put some of my stuff in my mom's car, and I slept in my car for 2 days.
Let me say something.
I didn't want to go. I didn't want to get
When
comfortable.
your cousins came to you with the proposition, you was ready to go.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. But some people not ready.
Right.
Some people don't give a fuck. They
Could be
content
the
with what
other.
they got going.
I wasn't sheltered. I saw a lot of
They
shit.
don't necessarily have nothing to do with upbringing.
No, I'm talking about like when me growing up, I was always saying can't wait. We always say, man, I can't wait to get out of
Yeah,
get
yeah.
my own shit.
That's a good statement.
Right, but to some people that's just real shit. I can't wait to get
That's
out.
a good
I
statement.
want to get my own shit. So I want my own car.
Do you really think that the kids in like Alamo Heights and shit like that are saying shit like that?
That's why I was
Hell no.
That's why I was saying we kick our kids out too fast. They not moving out after
We don't because our generation is teaching these kids every fucking thing. We tell them, look, your credit score gotta be this if you want to get this. You want to challenge her in a $300,000 house. You cannot work at Foot Locker. You want to challenge her at $300,000 house. You cannot work at Foot Locker. It don't work that way. We tell our kids this in our generation, but our fathers was non-existent.
That's why I say it was a disconnect somewhere. Somewhere it got disconnected.
Oh, you got something you want to say?
Female point of view.
Female point of view.
I have a question. I ain't got nothing to say. The question is, excuse me for my voice. I work for kids. I've been yelling all day. Do you
kids? Oh, go ahead. My bad.
You can give me an F kid shirt.
I was
You can't wear that to school? Go ahead. My bad.
I was late on the college. You can go ahead.
You can call the kids
Yeah.
How about a couple times? Do you feel that young men being raised by single mothers cause them to be overly emotional as adults?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know why? Let me answer that. Who said that?
over.
Let me tell you why. Because when you raised by a single mother, you don't know nothing about being a man. You don't know emotions like that. You don't know none of that stuff. So we gotta learn that shit on our own.
So,
And as we go on with this life that we live, we gotta learn that shit. So give us a second and we'll get it.
But this is the issue with the family unit not being the way it was meant for at the beginning of time. When God created the heavens and the earth, He also put man in a position, and if they're not in their rightful position, every other man that comes behind them doesn't have correct purpose. So then their purpose is not being lived out because they have an overly emotional woman who chose the wrong Adam. I don't know if you deal with that. But they chose the wrong man, and now they've been left with a seed that has no place to germinate.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's the perfect breakdown.
Absolutely.
now, with that being said, that being said,
You better shout out that church too. When you talking, you're gonna get some minutes today. Hey.
now that being said, I come back to me with,
Right.
okay, like my son, he has this epiphany that he's supposed to, whatever, you're against me. Now, his whole girlfriend lives in the house with us. Me, personally, I like her. But situations made it to where she had to stay. Well, not that. We accept allow her, exactly. So, that being said, what I'm trying to get my son to understand is that, yeah, you want to be with your boys, yeah, you want to move out, but you have a whole girlfriend here that you just have her here. So what I'm trying to make him understand, what we're me and my wife are trying to make him understand is that if you want to be a man, you gotta learn how to take care of yourself and be a man.
He's just not ready. He's just not ready.
And that's what I told him. So I asked him, if you're not ready, you have to leave that alone. Now, we gonna get out because they break up? No, because we're still trying to help her. There's a reason why she's there. But as me, I have twin sisters. Me, my sister, and my brother, when we graduated high school, my mom said, okay, this is what y'all need to do. Not get out, but we went all around to school. I haven't been home. I graduated in 87. I haven't been home ever. Except for going to my sister's house, because that's the house that we live in.
87?
Yeah. So that being said, my mom had a lot of friends that helped me become the man that I am. I feel like I'm trying to do that for myself. Get him to the point to where, hey man, it's okay for you to ask mom or ask me, hey, can I stay out later than 2? Your mom might be like, well, what's out there at 2? Me, I'll be like, okay, well, you come home at 2. There's a difference. So my misconception for my son right now is trying to get him to be a man to where right now he's like, how old is he? He's 18. You know, right now he's using excuses of why he's not playing a sport on us. Now, if you want to play a sport, you can do what you need to do to try to get your scholarship to go to school. He didn't do that. So he's blaming us. Well, I want to go here, but I didn't want to go there. But we know him. So if I let you go to Arizona and you come back 7 days later because you didn't like what the coach said.
Right.
So I'm trying to get him to understand, man, that it's not about you. You know, you got to be able to do this and get this in order to be what you need.
Wait, before did you want to say something about emotional, being over emotional with the single parent rate? I think you said you look like to say something. Well, you look like you want to say something. Because I know you agree.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I have to follow Lesser because, I got married when I was 22. So, like Ethan said earlier, a lot of what us as men know about emotions like that, from a masculine standpoint, we have to learn.
We done had our head bumps multiple times.
And then,
Multiple times doing shit we ain't supposed to be doing because we don't know no better yet.
right.
But then when you learn it, you realize, you know what, I don't even need to do all that.
And then sometimes, say in my case, I learned as my marriage.
Right. But that's a successful marriage, one that can grow. If you get into a marriage and you can't grow past nothing, you out of there. What you doing this for? You either grow together or grow apart. Oh, growing apart, but that shit sucks.
But I think too, there are certain levels of masculinity too. I think
Toxic is popular.
right.
Popular.
And I think the biggest thing that we all have come into contact with is the toxic masculinity that tries to prove a point, right? And not just be who you are.
See, those toxic masculinities.
And that's what I think most of these young gentlemen are coming into contact with, the toxic side. Where they have to prove, for lack of a better term, how big my dick is.
They mask.
Right.
They mask.
And it's
I
not
can buy
necessary.
which one you want.
And I think that's the problem, that when you don't have men in their rightful position, then you're not able to call the thing what it is.
You got boys
and
with
tell
money.
them that, hey, it's not necessary for you to do that.
You got boys with money. Tell it how it is.
You don't have to try to prove to everybody you come into contact with that you're a real man.
Right.
You're a man.
Even say it.
You're a man.
Right.
You are a man.
No, most say don't even say I'm a real man. They say I'm a real nigga.
That's what I'm saying. And so then, because you don't have a correct understanding of who you really are, just because of who you were born and what you was born with.
No, I know who I am. I'm gonna get my hair like 9 X and some shit. Like, I thought you said you knew who you was.
You don't have to be in a position where you have to prove yourself to people who at the end of the day don't know you from Adam.
Facts.
And really, if we're honest, and we go all the way to the honest tip about this, most of us have not been in a position where we knew exactly who we were.
Right.
We didn't know who we were.
And you still there because you changed.
Right. So then what happens is you develop relationships with other people, and you begin to try to figure out who you are through your relationship.
You know what I call that? Now, I done seen on social media a lot of times women say, know your worth. That's when a man knows his worth. He a real dangerous man.
This is true.
When a man knows his worth, he a dangerous man.
He's real dangerous when he doesn't allow pussy to control his.
He a dangerous man when he knows his worth.
Like you can't hang it off of my head, so it's like what else?
I can get 12 pussies walking in the club. I don't need that. I'm good on that.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
T had a question. Somebody hit you up with it?
Yeah, so since we're in the barbershop, y'all pretty much see every age range. Now,
Dr. Majors.
can you ever be too old for a certain hairstyle?
No.
No.
As a barber, you need to evolve with whatever's going on at the time. You need to know how to do everything. You need to know how to do fades, mohawks.
As far as the
You
guy,
don't care about women. Like you.
Oh, no, because
Like if you're
like
92, should you be wearing a shag?
the saying
There's
is,
so many niggas 92 in
the
the
saying is history repeats itself.
trash.
So it ain't never. And history repeats itself.
Let me answer
Should
that.
you be wearing that Bobby Brown haircut?
Let me answer that too. I say yes.
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 It is.
I say yes.
Now,
Whatever you want to do.
now what about your position too? Like if you're a pastor?
Yeah, that's
Right,
right.
here's the question though.
We can't limit
Have-
pastors
hold
to
on, but here's the question though. Have we become too Americanized to a certain degree where we believe that only a certain type of haircut should be in a position?
Exactly.
And so this is where I'm coming from, because I used to have dreadlocks, right? And they call them dreadlocks because they're supposed to be dreadlocks. So they told us, don't call them dreadlocks, we're gonna call them locks. But for me, I was told that I would not be as effective because of my hairstyle.
Look at Jay-Z.
And so this is where now, again, this is a toxic type of environment that we're growing up in an American society. They tell you that what you look like is not going to be accepted by the masses. To the white man, your hair needs to look a certain way so that you can gain his business.
Why you think Jay-Z look like that?
That's why a lot of people cut their beards, because believe it or not, having a beard is intimidating to people.
Right.
It's intimidating.
Why you think Jay-Z hair looks like that?
I thought you got bored. The money
Let
is
me answer that question. Let me answer that question on everything you
This
just
is an actual
said.
black look.
Check this out. So
Hey, I got something.
at my job, you kids, we think have beards. I think wear earrings. No. I guess the person that's over was like, what does that matter as long as you get the job? Man?
Exactly.
So I can wear this now. I can wear a beard.
To a certain extent.
No. If my beard was down here at work, I can wear it.
To a certain extent.
But see,
That's the way, and I hate to put it like this, but that's the way white America has we're in a position where we're living in a society that won't accept us regardless.
Right.
So then all we're trying to do is conform to an ideology of the white man, and then now we take out of ourselves our own culture.
Right.
So that being said, so what you just said makes a lot of sense. So we have people now, I'm gonna say Amazon, FedEx, UPS, we lose a lot of people because of that. So we had a person who dreadlocks down here, big games in here, they had that person. That person was the best person to work for the job at the time. Now, that being said, they have to ban all that. So everybody now can, I'm not saying I'm gonna go to work for this, I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is that they can't use that as a discrepancy of getting a job.
Right.
That's all. That's
But it's our prejudices, right?
Exactly.
That keep us from purpose.
Now, I've seen police officers in sleeves.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, they let you work with that? They said, oh, well, no, it's not that big of a deal anymore.
Yeah. That's like military.
Because in certain cases, that could be the best cop on the force, with sleeves and everything.
Because it's a stigma against people.
Right.
Right. But you don't even, but you don't know what my tattoos mean to me.
Right.
Every tattoo is not gonna mean gang ladies.
Exactly.
So,
Because if you believe it or not, most politicians under those suits.
oh yeah, they tatted up. Obama got one on his back real big.
Oh,
It say HNIC on the back.
You got the biggest
I'm just playing. Look, I don't know what he got on his back. I'm just joking.
you might not like it.
portrait of Michelle.
I feel like
No, I said Mike because
with the haircut, conversation, I don't, like you said, I don't feel like they're too old for a certain haircut because I don't feel like self-expression ever gets played out. It doesn't inspire. You know what I'm saying? So like, same tattoo, tattoos are a form of self-expression. So who's to say, okay, if at 65 you gotta cover them up, you can't get no more hair and everything like that. It's like, no, like you're an individual person. It may be tattoos for somebody. It may be a nose ring. Hell, it may be a design of a haircut.
Anything.
It could be anything.
What was the military thing? Was it the sleeve, right?
Yeah, like so if it couldn't cover a certain percentage of your body. So
Like a hand tattoos.
like hand tattoos,
Right.
like hand
Can't go past
tattoos.
that. Can't go past the wrist.
All this right
In
here.
the A shirt.
Yeah.
In the A shirt, you can't go past the
But like, but now, like, well, the Navy, it started the day like first. They allowed sleep, but then like with the Air Force, you can only have like a half sleeve. So if it's shown in any way, shape, or form, like your short sleeve blue shirt, you got to wear long sleeve.
Okay.
But now, you can have full sleeves. There's no problem.
I was gonna go to the Navy and they were saying it's like a tattoo parlor right when you get out of basic training. And that's what everybody.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. There's like at least 3 out right outside of Lackland, 4 right outside of Fort Sam and Tech School. When I was in Mississippi, there was another like maybe 5 right outside the gate. But now, Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada, in Vegas.
I got sleeves and shit, but that's not how I go to do it.
They now have a tattoo parlor on installation. They're
I got sleeves all the way out to the fence.
only military installation.
But that ain't why they went to the military. I couldn't do the military because I don't do well with authority.
That kind of thing.
Oh, I don't do well with
Bad acting ass.
Give me push up, man. Fuck you, nigga. Like that's what I would have said, but I know you can't do that.
You think that?
Man, me and my dress sergeant like to square
Nah,
up.
hell,
Man.
I want to get
Look, before you say that, it's a lot of military people in there. This one and this one was in the Navy and used military. Army, Navy, and Army. Yeah, so.
Can I say something? That's why he had a 3 and I'm at a 4.
Oh.
Damn.
So, I want to ask the pastor about as far as like, how do you feel about the tattoo?
Well, so there are 2 different, I guess, ways I can take this. As far as biblically, there's one way, and then just as far as us judging people based upon having them, I grew up in a very,
You grew up Kojic,
I
like
grew up touchdown in Christ.
Tell it.
You know, women couldn't wear pants,
Exactly.
red lipstick,
Like,
holiness. And so to them, holiness was in your appearance.
Right.
Exactly.
You presented yourself. Now that we've kind of grown, we understand that holiness is really who you are because of what Jesus did.
Right.
I'm holy because of what Jesus did. I don't care what I have on my body. But the whole perspective about tattoos is more about what we hold as a prejudice.
Okay, yeah.
We have our own prejudices based upon how people look.
That's true.
And when you, again, and I hate doing this, but this is the way it is. When you grow up in a society that is a paper plate society, they impress upon you an ideology that pushes people away rather than bring them in. Our culture as a people, black people, we are not the kind of people who segregate anything.
Right.
We the kind of people that you brought Tiffany, who was a white girl from the north side of town. Come on in. She's fine. Come on in, get a box of chicken and give her something to eat.
Right.
Your grandma ain't gonna treat her no different than nobody else.
Right.
Now you go over to their side, they're gonna look at you, hide their pocketbook and stuff. So we've been taught these certain ideologies that make us want to separate rather than bring in. And so then when we start to adopt this stuff as our own, then now we're actually looking at the people who we should be actually locking arms with.
Right.
And now we're looking at them as if they're suspicious. This is where the black on black crime comes into play. Because now we're actually having a crab in the barrel mentality where we really should be trying to open our doors to our own.
Right.
But the problem that we all face is that we spend more money outside of our culture than on the inside.
Facts. Facts.
So they
The
are
pandemic showed you that.
So there are
anything that's
prejudice,
business
The
wise.
pandemic showed you that.
but your prejudice has now pushed you away from actually having purpose. Because now you're pushing the people away and the things away that you actually need.
Blessings. Whole bunch of blessings.
God has actually given us, and it's amazing, isn't it, that God continues to pour out blessings on our culture of people who still on welfare. who's still struggling on food stamps,
And that,
Section 8 housing, but we still make more money than anybody in the whole
that
entire
right there goes back to what we were saying earlier. If you want to get out, you will. But if you don't, you won't.
But then here's the bigger, higher arching thing that we got to understand. A lot of us don't know what it looks like to be on the other side. We don't know what it looks like to actually have our own stuff. So then we grow up with a mentality, like you said, it's an impoverished mentality where we think that we only get what somebody gives us.
Because someone
You don't know that you can be.
We can only
Okay, shoot for those things.
Right.
So you didn't know that either.
And I never shot for them.
You are now though.
Right, because I grew up and got around people that led
And
me
it's
to,
work.
and
Right,
that's
exactly.
the next when you hang out with it.
That's
But I would never even attempt.
I know y'all heard the statement. Hang with a group of millionaires and what do you become?
Right, but
Yeah, but who?
you gotta put yourself in a position.
Yeah, you have to put yourself in a position,
Right.
And I hear, but listen, and I hear what you say, like, surround yourself with millionaires, you're gonna do it. Okay, cool. That's very easy said. It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
And here, especially in our community, because here's why. We are the one community that will not bring, for the most part, when we see one, say we're the person, we see somebody that we grew up with or whatever, and they got it. They got everything lined up, everything they're doing. They make it. Ask him a simple question like, "Hey man, like, not hate you, yeah, just how, like, hook me up on game."
You don't want you to get what he had.
I'm like, man, you can't ask me what I'm doing.
But that's
But
not all of it. Because it's a lot of those
That's
that'll be
most.
like, all right, look, let me check it out. They'll
That's
tell you what to do. It's up to you to do it.
It's a lot of people.
But it's a lot of them that be like, I ain't helping that nigga, man.
Yeah, but what you said is a unicorn.
Right.
In this community, that's
Right.
a unicorn.
But that's the problem.
Right.
It's a prejudice. We have a certain level
Hey.
of prejudice.
So y'all heard
When
what he
it
said?
comes to becoming.
Y'all heard what he said? I'm a unicorn. Go ahead.
There's a certain level of prejudice though. When you have gotten or reached a certain place in your life, you don't look at everybody the same way anymore. And that's the issue that we face. When we come into a certain level of status or influence, now we begin to change who we commune with.
Right.
And this was the issue even biblically. When Jesus came into the environment, he didn't change the people he went with. He went to go see the people who had issues.
Right.
The problem is we run away from the people who have issues rather than run to them to try to heal the issue that they have.
Yeah, because Peasy ain't told me shit. He on the shop. He ain't told me shit.
But here's the
He told me how much toilet paper costs.
here's what's amazing about it though.
Wait, I gotta get a lesson like that.
We all
lines.
We all have a certain level of grace on us to help heal the next generation. Are you using the grace that you have in your life, whether it be the stuff that you've been through, whether it be the stuff that you overcame, are you using it to reach back and help somebody else who's coming in that same pathway as you?
So, can I
What
say
are you
something?
doing for your community?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Now, in a lot of cases, you can reach back and help, but those people you help will fuck you over. Now, I know it sounds fucked up.
I have a
but
question with that.
a lot of those people that you reach down to help, they want to fuck you over to get ahead. When you ain't doing nothing but trying to help them. I'm not trying to change you, make you do nothing. But if I reach out and help you, I'm just trying to give you game. I ain't trying to, but they gonna try to fuck you over in the long run.
Is it my business to be concerned about what they do with what I give them?
It is not, but it's
Because watch this. Because if I've been given a grace to pour into this generation that's coming, that means regardless of what they do with it, whether they try to hit me over the head with it or not, I've been given the grace, so that I never run out, and I never run dry.
Right.
So I'm not concerned about what they do with it. It's my job to give them and pour into them what I have.
But I say that to say this. A lot of people won't help, like you said. A lot of people will just wash their hands with it because they've been fucked over too many times.
Yeah.
So it's everything goes full circle. I'm trying to help, but they keep fucking me over. So if I say
So what is the definition of that? What is a good the definition of that? If somebody gets you, or somebody is using you,
okay, we're in the barbershop. We're in the barbershop, so I'm hypothetically speaking.
Yeah.
I'm a barber. You knew. You just got out of school. I'm gonna say, hey, your fade could be much better if you do this, and this. Now you're trying to steal my clients. In the barbershop, that's a no-go. You don't steal clients. If your client come in and they in a rush, please get them for me, and then I'll get them next week. Simple. But if you jump in my client's inbox and say, hey, you should let me cut you instead of him, I got you.
okay. But
This is my point. I'm trying to put you on game.
That's like trying to sell up on somebody.
Exactly. I'm trying to put you on game,
Right.
but you're trying to step on the toes, bite their hand and feed, in other words. So now you got me. My guard is up now on who I help.
But this is why I'm asking this question, because too many of us have been bruised because of helping.
And that goes to relationships too.
Right. But who is supposed to replenish you and give you everything you need? If you believe in God, if that is your source, I don't care if 30 people try to steal all my clients. Guess what? If they steal them, God has a whole horde of people that He's going to get back to.
Now look, that's easy to say, but
No.
the bills ain't gonna stop coming.
Understandable. But then this goes to you and your client's relationship.
Can I tell y'all two something right here? Me and Mike gonna go all day, so you might want to go to the next question.
But not, you can't steal nothing from me.
Right.
Hey,
It doesn't matter what you try to do. My mind ain't going nowhere.
They ain't not going
Right.
nowhere.
But-
So it doesn't.
but-
It's kind of like.
But I'm not saying
It's
it's
the
the
president.
I'm
He
just
said
saying,
the president.
don't do that.
President, right.
It's a code of ethics in the
Right.
barbershop.
And again, that's a conversation, but that shouldn't keep you from pouring. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that's the code of ethics in the barbershop.
That should, no matter
But
what anybody
when you-
does,
when
it
you-
should never
when you-
keep us from the pour.
When you consistently helping people and they do stuff like that, that's what makes people pull back on helping a little bit.
Yeah, but if God is keeps placing it on your heart
To
to
do
keep to do it, and you
It is
ignore that,
meant to.
you got to answer for that.
Right. But at that point, it's no longer they steal it from me. Now it's I'm teaching them and I'm leading them in the right direction.
But that goes back to your root of your why.
Right. But as a barber, that don't stop the bills from coming.
No, that's true.
It
But
was
just
just
like Perry said though, if me and him is in we've been in relationship as brothers for almost 10 years now.
Right.
There ain't nothing you could say to me. There ain't no way you could cut my hair, even if he messed up, cut my face open. I'm still not gonna go to you and be like, you know what,
But me personally, I'm not the type of child that even say that to make you think that.
right. But then
I'm
also
gonna
that
say,
goes,
hey man, he cut you, but don't worry about it, man. I know easy, he gonna make it right. Don't worry about it.
But you did
it
it.
up.
It's
Exactly. But that's why surround yourself by people that's like-minded. You don't surround yourself around trash. So it's sad to say.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get to the next question. Sometimes, unfortunately, you only find that out when they already in your circle.
Yeah, of course.
Like by the time you figure, sometimes by the time you figure out that they're trash, you have already made them a part of the situation.
right.
So you can't say, well, that's why you don't surround. Because sometimes you can't hide it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sorry, and I don't mean to, but if I go back biblical again, Jesus picked Judas, and he knew he was gonna mess with him. So really, let's be
But it's
clear.
his job to worry about.
It was not Jesus' job to be concerned about when Judas was gonna mess up. It was that he needed this Judas for the bigger purpose.
The only problem with that is
What's the
Jesus didn't make me as perfect as he made himself. So I'm not that good.
but this is why I'm not that good.
Jesus didn't make me as perfect as he made himself.
I'm not that good. I got some issues
In his defense, the scripture says, "Be ye perfect as your Father in heaven." So your goal is to strive.
I'm trying, but he's too perfect.
All right.
Listen.
All right, so
Yeah.
question that I want to know. Should you would like to know, how is it as a young business owner, and then what got you into barber? Like, what was that thing that was like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Oh, selling dope, cutting all the dope boys. No, I'm just fucking. I ain't never sold. Well, I I can't say nothing. But I don't do that no more.
You know, could have hood.
Yeah, little something, little razzle dazzle. I'm not a business owner. Well, I am, but I'm not like.
Let's get into like how it looks.
Yeah.
It was nothing I ever dreamed of. Nothing I've ever like strived for or anything until, like I said, got around people that knew some things, that gave me information, that said, hey, you can do this. And I'm like, really? I can do that? So basically, what I'm saying is, I just copied what everyone told me I can do.
Right.
I can do that? All you gotta do is go downtown and do this. All you gotta do is do this. Now I went and did it. Okay, now you got that. You got a business license or an LLC, then you just do this. I'm like, well, how do you do that? You go and do this. So I just basically just copied what everyone told me to do. And I'm in the position that I'm in right now. Because
That's pretty much what we just is going through right now as a podcast. You know, we went and got our DBA and stuff.
Right.
And
Sure.
everything.
That's exactly what I got.
So that's what we're working towards too. That's why, because I said I got my live at 5 for my interviews. I do interviews. I went and did that, but I wasn't thinking about that. That just got. I don't know. I can say it's like you know how sometimes you don't know what your purpose is, and then it takes somebody on the outside to reveal your purpose. So I used to go live all the time. Every time I got to work, I went live. This girl was like, "Man, you always go live. You should do a podcast or something." And call it like live at 5. And I was like, "Yeah, you tripping." And then, but then I was riding one day. I was like, "I do that. I do just get on here and just talk. That's what I do." Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So then I told my wife about it. This is the good thing about having a good wife. Everybody can have a wife. I don't necessarily believe that you find I don't want to misquote the scripture, but he that finds a good wife finds a good thing. I think that's debatable sometimes.
Because all wives ain't
Well,
good. All wives ain't good.
So,
You heard it. All wives ain't good.
that wife that got that size 13.
Well,
No, the wives that make the meatball sandwiches instead of the tacos, y'all ain't good.
So the concept of finding a wife means that you find a woman who is ready to be a wife. So it's not that you find a wife like you just say, oh, that's gonna be my wife, and she ends up being what you need. No, you have to first find out what does she have that is going to become comparable for what I have, and how is it going to work together to become what I need.
Right.
So it's not just, hey, it's a woman, oh, I want her, she's going to be a wife. No, she first has to go through.
Yeah, we went. I mean, I wasn't ready to be a husband.
Right.
So, I mean, it was the same thing. But she spoke when I revealed her that plan and that idea. She had my back.
Right.
So she never let up on it. Even when I snapped up, did you go do a DBA? Oh, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Yeah, make sure you do it. I was like, I didn't get to do it.
You already are in a position to go to the next level.
Right.
I was already a barber. I was already running a one-man shop in the VA hospital. And people say, this is your business. And I didn't know I was already in the business at all until someone said, this is your business. I said, really? I said, yeah, you're a one-man shop. You can put a name to this. And I put a name to it. Oh, you get your DBA. You know, so I was like, okay, well, I was already running the business without even knowing it.
Yeah. With all the legal paperwork and everything.
Without the legal paperwork. I was running the business without legal paperwork.
Right.
So then I just went and got the legal paperwork. And did this. And made it official. And so that a lot of times that's all that it takes is you're already doing your destiny. You already moving towards
Like
that.
prostitution. Like prostitution.
I got a question.
Oh, man. How should it be all those?
You guys, no one cares. Shut it up. We got a mind for you.
Turn this mic
Yeah.
You know what?
Just go ahead and find out.
Oh, shit.
Okay, I got
I've been kicked out of final sessions in this.
I got a couple questions for me, then we got a question from one of our viewers. But my question is, how did you come up with the shop name?
You know what exalted means?
When someone told me,
know how you came.
I was at the VA, like I said, that's the story. I was already running the business. Somebody said, you just put your name to it and get a DBA. So I went to a branding company and tried to figure out a name and try to figure out, different things. And I was asking the lady who was making the design and everything, you know, gave me some names. And she was throwing names out, you know, Supreme and different things. And she just threw out Exalted. As soon as she said Exalted, I said, hey, I've never heard it in my life. Never heard this name, never, nothing. I said, I like that. What does that mean? She told me it meant in high regard. That's all she said. I said, that's perfect. That's the name I want. I don't want to hear nothing else. That's the name I want. I didn't find out until a couple weeks later it was more of a biblical term, you know, choosing the Bible. So the name chose me, is what I say.
How did you know that it would be easy to be a perfect fit for your child?
Well, he's my cousin.
I talked a whole lot of shit all day long.
That's true.
So how did you know he would be a perfect fit?
I talk shit all day.
Because I'm very quiet and it takes you to ask me stuff. You got to get information out of me. And he knows how to get the information out of me. And he's
I don't have this information out of anybody.
So, hey, it was a perfect fit. I feed off of him.
Okay, so
He ain't changed his views.
I have a question.
I appreciate that.
I have a viewer question. He texted me to make sure I ask the question. He wants to know, this is probably towards you, Pastor. He wants to know, should the husband feel threatened in a marriage if his wife is still in a communication with her baby father?
Kill her.
Especially when there's this inappropriate conversations between the two.
Kill her. Kill her.
Wait, hold on. Free answer this question. Let me get my Snapchat ready.
No, don't get your Snapchat ready because we already got his answer.
I want to know.
Well,
Go ahead.
Again, this goes back to boundaries. If they have set boundaries for their relationship as husband and the wife has stepped outside of those boundaries, then that's where the husband has every right to feel, if you want to say threatened, you can, but he has every right to want to ask more questions about why this relationship is operating the way that it is.
Especially if it's already went.
Right, and that relationship, right. If there was a disconnect, if you broke up with this individual for a certain reason, then why are you now back together communicating in a way that now negatively affects our marriage? So there's a problem with that, and so that deserves a conversation.
I think she said like this for baby father.
No, but you've already had inappropriate conversation.
So should the reins turn to, okay, now you communicate with me.
No, not that. You can still communicate with
Like the
your
husband.
father.
No,
Like, you can say,
I done already caught you inappropriate talking
exactly.
to me already. Then I catch you again.
Father, like, who's gonna pick up the kids?
Right.
Like, you start saying, hey, can you pick up the kids and also come over that later on?
Yeah.
Of course.
Let me say
Stuff
this.
like that. That's inappropriate.
That's boundary. But that's just not a relationship.
So I feel threatened.
Yeah,
Should I get rid of her now already?
yeah.
I don't even think it's. He didn't get rid of her. He ended up staying with her.
I don't necessarily. I think threat is the wrong word.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's.
I don't know if it's threatened. I think
Yeah.
concern. Concern.
It's very disrespectful.
You were already concerned when he did it the first time. That was a concern. You already caught you inappropriate talking. That's a concern already.
Right.
Hey, we got past that. Hey, you already know where I stand on that. Don't do that no more. You do it again, you're past concern.
Yeah, I know. You have
But
to.
that's what I'm saying.
But I think threaten is more like.
Threat is like you feel
We passed threatening too.
Because
Like you feel like you're gonna lose her.
right to him. And it's,
I already felt like I was gonna lose her when she did it the first time.
So you passed. You didn't even get to concern. You went straight to threat.
No, concerned and threatened when she did it the first time. Damn, I'm threatened by her having these conversations with him.
Or you could look at it like this. You could have looked at it like this, like you said earlier. And not to put the blame on you, but you can also say, like, is this
Why not
something
do it?
that I'm not doing?
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. That's an actual conversation.
Right.
But again, we all are in positions where our boundaries have been tested.
Oh yeah.
So then, in any relationship, especially with husband and wife, there should be a sacredness to the
What do
relationship.
you do when they're
But
testing again?
sometimes it might not be what you did do. Sometimes it could be like, let's say they start going back through memory lane.
No, you gotta
So it might not be nothing specifically you did. It could be like, remember when little Johnny was born?
That mean you gotta be inappropriate with this.
Yeah, that's not
But that's not that would
No, I said it starts
What do
there.
you do when it's tested
Oh,
again?
But that goes back to what exactly.
That all depends. That all depends on how serious you take it about.
Everybody's familiar with electric fences, right?
Definitely.
Okay, those create boundaries, right? If you touch it, you get shot.
You probably won't touch it again.
You won't touch it again. That's where that comb your hair shit comes in. If you want to be doing all this extra shit you're doing, I gotta check that shit in the right way, and that makes sure you want to do it again.
Well,
If you do not, if you
So you
do
come out
not,
here?
if you
So
do
you
not,
come here
if
and
you do not,
if you find a text message that said, "I like that picture,"
hold on.
you gonna comb her hair?
If you do not address this shit in the shock therapy type thing like the electric fence, it's gonna happen again.
It is.
So therefore, you gotta address that shit. All serious.
What are we considering as shock therapy?
Hey man,
What are
whatever
you
you,
saying?
whatever.
Are you gonna get your ass cold?
Look,
Are you gonna get a rake?
it's
Are you gonna get a hot cold?
It's 5 people right here. Your shock therapy might be different from mine.
Yeah.
So y'all going through each other's phone?
I don't count in.
Regardless. If I'm married to a female, you shouldn't have no inappropriate with nobody.
I know, but
No
I'm saying, how
conversation.
y'all finding out about this?
Oh no, we just answered the question.
Are we going through the phone?
You gotta ask him. I don't know.
Yeah, it was just.
Find out about it.
That's most. I'm
Ask
probably
him right now.
most men. It's a unicorn if you do.
Raggedy.
But most men don't go through their female's phone. If they do go through the phone, that means prior it was already concerned, it was already a threat,
Hold
it
on.
was already been tested. So now he's on his fist. He's like, you know what? Hey, man, your phone. Let me
To
check
be
your phone
honest,
real quick.
because you just missed some shit.
What?
When niggas go through phones, it's because they doing some shit.
Possibly, but that's why I
At the
said
same time,
some could
they
have
said,
happened before.
men that don't go through phones, I don't gotta babysit you. You fucking adult, you know what you're doing is wrong, and you know what you're doing is right.
Yeah.
So I don't need to babysit you at all. I don't need to be sharing locations or none of that shit. I'm gonna believe that you're gonna do what you said you're gonna do. If you don't, then we're gonna have an issue. I don't need to babysit you at all.
But
It's
even
fucking
if-
wrong.
You can't get mad at the person if they go through the phone and find it either.
Right, because it shouldn't be in there.
It shouldn't be in there.
And that go to both ways, man and female. It shouldn't be in there. But I'm not gonna babysit you. Give me a phone. Every Friday, I need to go through your phone and see what the fuck you doing.
Or share location.
I ain't finna do all that shit. Look, you said, D, you got a podcast? Okay, cool. Baby, good luck. I'll see you when you get back. That's all I need. I don't need all that extra shit. Because now I feel like it's something else going on. Like, why you need my location all the time? Like, you need to know where I'm at.
Unless you've been acting a fool.
They can
That's
go
what
both
I'm
ways.
saying. If the boundaries have been tampered with, that's when all of this
If
extra.
the boundaries have been tampered with and you feel some type of way, don't fucking be in the situation you're in.
That's what I'm saying.
It's simple.
But it's a test, though. Everything is a test.
So that at some point,
I mean,
Getting in your car and driving on the highway is a fucking test.
not really.
It is, because you don't know what the fuck the next person thinking in the car next to you.
That's defensive.
You don't even think about it.
That's defensive.
You
No,
know,
I do.
I took courses on that.
I do too.
All right, check this out. You said defensive drive. You got an answer for that, right? So do you have an answer? Are you speaking for the pickup who y'all heard about that girl that killed with the two babies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Was he not defensively driving?
exactly. So like I said, getting in your car and driving is also a
Very
test.
careful on how
But she don't check and see how you doing while you drive.
That's true.
you can be as defensive as you want.
I just feel
I
like
don't mean nothing.
when you become an adult, all that extra shit should go out the door. Like I don't have to do all that.
but that's why I'm saying if these boundaries have been tampered with, then it puts the whole relationship in question.
You don't be in it. Nobody's forcing you.
It's hard though. It's
Right?
hard.
No,
You can't
that's what I'm
really-
saying.
You still kind of want to see if that was just a mistake and that's over with.
Because you're human. Like you said, there's no way in the world we think that our partner is the only
person.
It's crazy to think that.
If
That
that's
goes with the social
somebody
media.
says
If your girl add a dude on social media and you say, first of all, I don't know how you know that she had to do it on social media. But if she do it, then, and you say, hey man, why did you add him? And she say, I don't know.
See, now I gotta say some inappropriate shit.
You just say, don't do that no more.
It's a smart answer, it's a right answer.
Now I gotta say,
So
no right answer.
So y'all not logged into y'all significant other's social media?
Hell no.
One more time.
What?
Not size because my code
Okay, can I say something?
I feel like sharing Facebook, sharing social media pages is more than shit.
Can I say something? Can I say something? Can I say something? Females, the dude you started talking to him because he was attractive for one. So what makes you think 9 million other women don't think you're attractive too? It's about what y'all talk about, what y'all go through, that's gonna make you feel, I don't need to do all that.
And I'm just letting y'all know right now, I had everybody.
This is
I had
All right.
I do. If you talk about life inside page, if you see the pretty person, look like.
hey, like I said earlier,
I'm
you
gonna
got
share.
shit going.
This is going another way.
You have something going, which requires viewers.
Yes.
So you're adding people so they can view what you got going.
Yes.
Yeah, but I didn't
But
know.
people that have nothing going, people that just work a 9 to 5, simple ass job, don't do nothing. Why are you adding this dude?
Why you adding this dude for?
You're adding them because you need followers for what you got going on. The 5,000 you already got are not tuned in. So now you delete the 1,000 and add 500. Because now you need followers. That's different. You ain't telling them, oh, I wanna this strange thing.
So
You ain't doing that.
I got the answer to that question
What's
up there. He said that he seen the message when she left the phone unlocked while she was waiting on him.
For sure.
Well,
So the phone was unlocked.
before we get to another topic and it's getting late, we got a segment that we just started. It's called Fun Fact. We do it every Wednesday. I did it last Wednesday. And today is Travis' turn, so he's gonna hit you with the fun fact.
T1 turn.
T1, my bad. I'm just used to calling people.
Wait, before we start, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Okay. I wasn't going to say all this is good, this is great, but I have to say this because it's on my heart about my son. The question was asked about how did he start his business and things like this. I'm going to give y'all a little story about my son. He and I had an altercation about 5 years ago, something like that. A lot of fathers and sons have disagreements in this. So that's basically what it was, a disagreement. So, okay, let's come to shove. That Sunday, I was at church lit out. He walked up to the vehicle and he said, Dad, what you and Mom doing today after church? I said, oh, nothing. He said, okay, well, I'm gonna come over. I said, all right. So we go on home, and sure enough, he came on over, we got dinner. And this is the type of son that, I never had any problem with him. So he comes over, we have dinner, we talking, and he apologized to me, So I was son, that's good and everything, and that made me feel very good, that lets me know that he was a man, because what transpired wasn't right by him or myself, okay, but he was man enough to come to me and apologize, okay. After that, it's life. I see where God saw blessing because of his true nature and his heart. Little by little, he just kept at it, and God just kept adding blessing.
Like me.
Adding blessing. And I tell people this all the time. I said, hey man, my son is very blessed. And like Claude stated earlier, ain't nothing nobody can do to him to stop his blessing. That's right. Only one that can stop it is himself. Yep. But I just had to say that. He's a good son, never had any problem out of it.
Except that time you caught him watching that porn stuff.
That's what that son, the wrong thing.
Okay, that's it.
Honor will get you blessed. Yeah, honor will always get you blessed, man. For real.
Yes. God bless. He honors when we do things like that. That's right. Even with our spouses. And I've heard conversations and stuff. And there's certain things that comes up in a marriage, it depends on how you handle it. You know, a lot of it depends on how you handle it. And if the marriage is meant to be long lasting, God will see that it happen that way. Because He'll put it in your mind what to say, and He'll put it in her mind how to respond, and vice versa.
If it's meant to be, it happens.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
What's the good is that?
So actually, I got two. I didn't know this about Marvel.
Sea turtles live 100 years?
No, I didn't know this about Marvel. First fact, and this kind of makes sense to me. Barbers were once surgeons pre-1800s to cut hair and flesh.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense because as far as being surgeons, because when a man walks into a barbershop, he walks out with a mask.
How many life you go there?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that makes sense. What we want to say?
A barber was known as a surgeon back in the day. When influenza and all that crap came out, they thought that they could do what's called bloodletting, and they slit your wrist and let the blood come out and the sickness come out. When you look at a barber pole, those colors mean something. Blue is for veins, red is for blood, white is for bandages. Nobody knows this. The bowl on the bottom, the silver bowl on the bottom is to catch the blood that they get out of you. That they think is a sickness. That's right. Didn't work. But that's what barber surgeon was.
Wow.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
I paid attention in school.
Let's get it.
Hey, we
I didn't know that. That's
Knowledge.
When it's infection, you get some blood out of you. But it ain't gonna be that bad.
we'll just make this next one the third one because that was
Yeah.
kind of slid that
Pretty
back
dope.
in there. Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I'm sure you probably know this too.
Oh yeah.
Barbers perform castration back in.
Oh yeah, all that. All that.
Okay,
Whenever it was an issue with anything, they took it to the surgeon, which was also the barber. So we gotta do what we gotta do to figure out what the problem is. 9 times out of 10 it was wrong, but that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
the only people that are being castrated.
They thought that they could take the sickness out of the human body by just letting some blood out, and the sickness would come out with it.
We came a long way. Imagine doing that now.
People sit there rich now, and they don't have nothing to do with it.
That's mental issues.
All right, well, before
Ask the mental question. I know you got a mental question. What's the mental question?
That was our mental question was at the beginning.
yeah, that was
That was a mental health check.
we ain't got time.
Why them single? I probably got some sons in here.
Oh, can we tell y'all some shit?
The what? What you say?
Before we close this out, can
Yeah.
we tell y'all some
Wait,
shit?
what you say?
I want to say something first. This is my pet peeve on
Barbershop
being a
days.
barber. There's no way as a woman you call
Wait.
No,
What's that?
we don't
No,
know
what
what y'all
that
gonna
say?
say. We don't know what y'all gonna say, so y'all can know what we gonna say.
What that
So-
question say? Now read that question.
No, fuck that. Why?
The question is what you
Why
Yeah,
do women have to bring their sons in a fucking barbershop?
yeah, that's
That was
stupid as
the
hell.
question.
Or you know what's even more stupider?
I feel like it depends on the age. So.
I'm gonna use the word
Sober. That's not true.
That's so stupid.
That's not true. Because it's 50, 45, 50-year-old women that still gotta bring their sons in the barbershop.
That's different.
It's a problem.
Like your kids
To
like
us,
2, 3, 4.
But
No.
he's speaking from a barber.
no, I'm talking about what we see on a daily basis. Women bring their sons in barbershops all the time, and that burns us the fuck.
The only reason a woman would bring if the man is not existent.
If he's
If
overseas,
he's not existent,
if he overseas,
cool, I understand that.
military,
But there's a lot of
Now, what if they stay?
huh?
Now, let's say the man's non-existent.
Right.
Should the woman stay or should they drop the son off and come back?
No, she can bring him in.
No, she shouldn't have to do none of that. If your man is overseas or in jail or deceased, those are the only reasons I can see a woman having to bring her
That's what
son.
I'm saying. But
You know that's what she's saying.
That's what
She
I'm
don't have a
saying.
boyfriend. She don't have nobody. But the
But we gotta say it.
listen. She don't have no man or nothing.
Let's say he's overseas, like you said, all that. Should the woman stay or should they just drop the kid off and leave?
And she ain't got no boyfriend.
If
She
she's
don't-
overseas and everything, like you said,
The man is overseas.
she ain't got no
So
father.
in that case, you really don't have a choice. But if you got a boyfriend, wherever you fucking, need to be doing.
Yeah, that's different. But I'm saying she had nobody. Should they say it? Should they just drop it?
No, she
No, that's an exception.
Hey, look, we some fools, we ain't no vultures.
Yeah, we done seen a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah, I think it just has like a.
Yeah, she can play.
Barbershop thing, like drop your kid off, go do some shopping, come back.
Right, we're respectable on that, but I'm saying, I'm talking about the dumb stuff. Like a female calls and say, hey, how much are haircuts? When are you available? And the man sits right next to her.
Right.
The females be making a lot of appointments for their boyfriends. That's just goofy as hell to me.
Okay, T1.
I take my son.
Or they sons.
Y'all's wife call us for y'all to get a motherfucking haircut.
Or your son.
Wait.
Your wife called my phone and said, hey, my husband needs to get in there.
Yes.
Get his beard lined up.
Yes.
Nah.
Yes.
Grown man.
No, I'm just saying.
That's
That's a topic.
All the time.
I must be moving.
No, the only time I'm gonna say this real quick. The only it is slavery.
Yeah,
And I'm
Jess.
speaking to my wife as well
Baby, listen.
because she did this.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it was during that real bad. We were doing that real bad flood a few years ago. But still, this is a no-no. Women, do not, under any circumstances, call the barbershop looking for your man.
Ooh!
It was buddy in the chair just the other day.
Do not do that. If they don't answer the phone, just hope for the best.
Hope for the best.
I'm just
later.
saying,
But do not call the barbershop.
you need to understand
But
that
go
the
ahead.
man went with it. Fuck, he said he went, and he'll be back when you get done. Don't be doing all that extra shit.
Now, if
Now.
she's trying to do a nice gesture.
No, it's not a nice gesture.
No, not
Yeah, right.
I'm not
We're
talking about looking for your man. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about booking an appointment now. She's trying to do a nice gesture like a birthday gift.
Nah.
But Pete,
I
you
got
got
my
She do that.
But that's not what's happening. I'm speaking on
What is actually happening?
that should not happen anymore. I'm just speaking from a bar.
Women
That's the goofiest thing
in
in
the
the world.
shop with their man while he's getting the haircut, and the woman is giving you the barber's number. Why? Because she's gonna call and say, hey, he wants to
Yes.
come here. He wants to
Yes.
come in and get his
Is that why
haircut
she's
tomorrow.
getting the number though?
We don't. That's what we're speaking on.
That's what
Hey,
she
don't
does.
see your wife in here with some wolves. Don't
Because
do
I'm not
that.
getting no number for my man to get a haircut. I'm
Okay,
getting a number.
that's the whole reason why we don't like for women to bring their sons in here.
And that was the question.
You're sending your girlfriend, wife, whatever, into a wolf den.
Exactly.
So when she come up out of here and she, like I said, all people have somebody else that's attractive, not just one person. So if you send your wife into a wolf den, and then she come home and got to argue with you because you done looked at a barber too long, you should have did that shit your motherfucking self.
That's the word.
Y'all shouldn't have to.
That
Women should
makes
not have to bring
us
themselves in.
want to make men step up. So say one woman come in and she, getting her son situated, getting a haircut. The next time she comes, she with a nigga, I'm finna check. Hey,
What was you at the first time?
where was you at the first time?
You fucking
The
right.
next time this little boy come in to get a haircut, you better bring him.
Exactly. What we won't say it exactly like
Yes,
that. It'll turn into like,
What you mean?
why don't you just come on in and bring
No, I said,
your
you put a
man?
picture,
That's
that's
two birds, one
The
stone.
dude's in the picture now. He here.
You gotta see what-
Next time this little boy coming to get it, you better not sit up in here to bring him in more. You better bring him.
Because 9 times out of 10, women don't know what the haircut is called. They don't know how low you want to cut it. They don't know nothing. But they gotta call the man and say, how did you want his hair? He should have fucking brought him in.
Yes.
He should have fucking
We
brought him
see that
in.
all the time.
So y'all don't do the pictures no more, like I said, let me get another 10.
We'll be better.
We know what it is.
I'm joking.
He knows we better than all the
I
bitches.
know, I'm joking.
We better than all the
Another
bitches.
10 next to the 4 and a little bit of
That's an issue that we have all the time in the car.
So you just want everything.
Women come in all the time with kids.
What is
Where
Daddy at?
is this nigga at?
An uncle or something.
Something. And I ain't even saying it gotta be the dude you with. Send your dad, send
A
your
grandfather.
uncle,
Yeah.
the kid's uncle,
It's
something.
a lot of single
Women
moms
should not have to do
coming
that. And I say
here.
that
I don't know
because
what's going on.
a lot of them are black. And be accountable for their actions. You had this action, you laid down this woman, you made a king, now you got to deal with the consequences of your actions, which is raise this boy and show him how to be a man. That goes all the way back to the beginning. My bad.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah. I have a question after the show.
Okay. So we can you can see we can go all day.
All day.
But the Way You Ask podcast, man, make sure y'all share the video, make sure y'all comment.
Like it.
Y'all can still drop some questions and we'll touch on those next podcast.
If you want us to do a part 2, let us know. We'll come back to this
Right.
barbershop and do a part 2.
We can do a 2,
And then
3,
we
4,
go to the
5.
hair salon and get some ladies stuff too.
Hey, hold on now.
Drop your social media.
Exalted _.
But first, let's start off with Pastor. Shout out to your church. Let people know where they can come to your church on Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Bible study, Sunday school. You know, all the good stuff like we used to back in the day, children's church.
Shout out to the Remnant City Fellowship. Love you all. We're right now having service in Chill Vibes Nutrition Shop. It's off of Days of Olive. I can send the link out. We're also having a Zoom call every Thursday and Sunday. Again, I have a Zoom link that I can send out if anybody wants to connect. Both services will be on Zoom and in person. Same place, 7:30 on Thursday night, 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Cool. What was Exalted? I got social Instagram again.
Instagram, just Exalted Cuts. Barbershop on Instagram. We got a Google page, Exalted Cuts. Facebook page.
Where you located, in case people don't know.
5767 Randolph Boulevard. Up the street from the Randolph parking ride via bus deal.
Yeah.
So
Can people book online?
you can book online or you can call and text any number. So that's how we usually set up appointments.
And you can follow us on Way You Ask podcast on everything, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all that. And be easy.
I heard my name.
Oh, the merch. We got the website. We'll drop the merch. We got the website for the merch. Also, if you ever need some merch, I let it easy.
Oh yeah, I do very good.
Merch. You do everything.
Listen, my shout outs to last 4 hours.
No,
That's not. Hold on, wait. Look, I make shirts, I cut hair, I rap. You know, I used to be a prostitute. We're not gonna get on that. Look, no, hell no, what you want? Calm down, baby. You know, you're supposed to be behind the scenes anyway. Listen, y'all come to 5767 Randolph Boulevard to get the haircuts, send your kids.
With their daddy.
With their daddy.
No, you know what?
Don't get into it. Just finish. The T gotta go.
Cause you start shit. Hey, look, come up here and get your haircuts. Regular cuts is 25, kids is 20. If you want some extra like designs and specialty cuts, he's very with the barber. So come on in, deal with us. 5767 Randolph Boulevard. PZ the owner. Y'all see how this go down. Alright, we do this all the time. This ain't nothing new. I talk like this all day long. I wake up and I'm like 9 o'clock in the morning, I still act like this. But I'm gonna shut up because T1 gotta go. And he a Ravens fan and I'm a Cowboys fan and we don't get along. So